Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, for Kwadash, double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Great Millstone for teaching this truth according to the Bible. Real quick video. I saved two videos last night, or yesterday. Let me get to it. But it's going down. All right, this is the end. We are at the end of the reign of Babylon the Great. So I just got these two videos. I'm gonna go one from Prepper News, that guy from Canadian Prepper, and then the other from the elder from the main camp, New York camp, which is I'm one Gabar from GMS Awakening 144. Okay, and yeah, I'm only just gonna play a little bit of both videos, and I didn't have any scriptures pulled up, but I'm already thinking of one. So we'll watch this real quick. So let's go right here. And by the way, Salaki for the commercials, but I'm gonna declare fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Okay, late night emergency update. Forgive me, I'm exhausted. I don't think I've ever been this exhausted doing a video. But people need to understand that the next 24 hours are going to be chaos. The U.S. is getting ready to do a massive attack on Iran on a scale I don't think that we've ever seen. Now, we don't know what's going on in that country, but if their actions are any indication of what is going on, then it must be pretty bad. And remember what Iran's...
The United States, listen, the United States of America is so used to just having full autonomy, full power, nobody really fighting back. The United States Army is a tough guy, okay? It thinks it's a tough guy. The United States is used to beating up on, ragtag militias, Viet Cong, Taliban, Al-Qaeda type militias. The United States is not prepared. It is not mentally ready. It's not spiritually ready, nor is it mechanically ready, okay, with the munitions and all this type of things and the equipment to fight against a near peer level threat in Iran. Don't even get me started on Russia and China or North Korea. All right, we're just talking about Iran. This is a near peer level threat, okay? And they've only just gotten started with those missiles, man. They're using their old missiles that, they don't really care about, just sending them off, and they're smoking Tel Aviv and Haifa, okay? So yeah, of course they gotta do something drastic. Now, I'm not saying that the United States military isn't powerful. Of course, the United States military is the most powerful, okay? But listen, when someone can hit you back almost as hard as you can hit, hey, it's a different story, okay? And United States military is not used to that kind of a war. So this is, I believe it was when the Ayatollah was killed in the first day. I believe they called for a jihad, a global jihad. The new Ayatollah has called for a global jihad. Let's look up what that actually is, okay? It really means it's the Islamic holy war, okay? But we'll get the actual definition from Google. What is jihad? I don't even know how to spell it, but I'm just gonna... What is jihad? Oh, jihad. Okay, I spelled that wrong, but we get the point. Jihad is an Arabic term meaning struggle or striving in the way of God. Okay, so this is basically a religious holy war that they've declared, because what did you do? You killed their damn leader, their religious leader, the Ayatollah. That's like, a couple brothers made the reference, that's like you killing the damn Pope. If these Arab Muslims dropped bombs on the Vatican and the Pope got smoked, you You know how many of these Christians and these Catholics would arm up for a crusade? Oh my God! And what you've done now is the equivalent, but on the Muslim side. So understand this: these Muslims are fucking crazy. These are Shia Muslims. Okay, they want to die. They're those Allahu Akbar motherfuckers. Okay, they will blow themselves up. Okay, in a flash. Okay, so you don't think they have those sleeper cells here in the United States of America? Of course they do, and they're just waiting for orders, and the orders have been given. So expect this is a time for false flags, which brings me. Let's get this scripture right here. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man, because hey, you got to be aware of your surroundings, right? 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're going to have a mixture of things. We're going to have a mixture of actual T attacks, okay, in the United States of America. Everybody knows this is coming. If you don't know this is coming by this point, you're probably going to get smoked, all right? But we're going to have a mixture of actual T attacks because of this fatwa that was put out by the new Ayatollah, okay? But you're also going to have the United States of America doing the same thing it did on 9/11 and manufacturing these false flag events to bolster support and get the people riled up in support of this war, so that they can start the money printing, start the manufacturing, which, by the way, the United States has gotten rid of its manufacturing base, okay? The United States cannot produce artillery fast enough because it outsourced its manufacturing to China and places like India, okay? Iran, on the other hand, has a completely and totally in-house, full wartime capable economic manufacturing base. Okay, they produce all their missiles and drones and weapons in-house. They don't need to export. They don't need to rely on anybody else for their weaponry. Okay, Iran can run this war for many, many years. And by the way, they have literal underground cities that produce missiles and drones. Okay, and they're all over that country. All right, but we got to be vigilant. Okay, yeah, we got to be vigilant because this is a time where, we're going to start seeing the things that we've been prophesying about. Okay, we're going to start seeing that stuff. Let's go to the blue letter real quick. All right, just grab a couple scriptures. I don't want to make this video long. It's not going to be a long video, but I just want to comment on the things that we're about to start seeing. Okay, let's go to Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1, it says, woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, and prey departeth not. The noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and the prancing horses and the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses. There is none end to their corpses, and they stumble upon their corpses. There's going to be a lot of death here in the United States of America, as well as over there in the Middle East. Okay, these people are going to war, which brings me to the next video, but let's finish this video because I want to make a comment on the next video that we're talking about.
Said when the Ayatollah was alive. Now that he's dead, the fatwa on nuclear weapons has potential.
That's another thing I was going to mention. The Ayatollah that they just killed in Iran, he was the only guy that was basically, a fatwa is like an executive order. Okay, but it's like a Muslim religious executive order. So he's the supreme leader. He was the only guy that was preventing Iran from building a nuclear missile. Now that he's dead, you know damn well they're going to be building, completing, and stockpiling those things like crazy. Okay, because both Israel and America have nuclear weapons. You think Iran is just going to sit around and wait to get nuked? I don't think so. Okay.
Actually died with him. But they said that they will only resort to nuclear weapons if their existence is threatened. And you notice how the Trump administration is not talking about the highly enriched uranium? It's still out there. I think in this flurry of attacks that they're about to do, because we're tracking 24 additional Air Force tankers that are en route or have made their way to the Middle East already to supplement the 100 plus that are already there, each of which can fuel multiple warplanes. They're about to do a massive attack. And I think amidst that shock and awe campaign, they might put boots on the ground.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be.
That's what this is looking like. I mean, we went from no war with Iran to a peace deal with is in sight to closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Something unprecedented that we've theorized about for years. Now it's here. It's incredible. We have a full-blown exchange between Sunni and Shiite nations now on their oil and gas infrastructure. Because if Iran is targeting embassies in Riyadh, if something is compelling them to do that and bombing Saudi Aramco, it must be pretty bad in Iran right now. We don't see it because they're keeping a tight lid on it. And they're doing a very good job at that this time. Still a lot of footage coming out, but not as much as you would think. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would Iran be lashing out in all directions like this? Obviously, it's because there's U.S. military bases there. Yes, we all know that. But it's starting to look like this is really an existential fight. Like, it hasn't sunk in for a lot of people. I think we've been conditioned to believe that this is going to be an easy in and out sort of campaign, and some Delcy Rodriguez co-conspirator, defector amidst the ranks is going to vassalize Iran in the same way.
That's not going to happen. Iran, listen, they're not stupid. People who really don't understand how war works, okay, how these nation states work, all right, you're not just going to, you're not just going to send a spy in there and they're going to give you some type of information that's going to lead to a one-day take them out, kind of like how Donald Trump was saying this will be done in 4 days. Now he's saying a month. Then after a month comes, it's going to be 6 months. Then it's going to be a year. Then it's going to be 2 years. Listen, this thing is going to be over soon, but it's not going to be on the timeline of Donald Trump. It's going to be on the timeline of Yahweh Shimei Shai. And what are we coming to? Revelation 16 and 15. This Yahweh Shai speaking says, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth." What is watching? When these events happen, we go into the scriptures and we match them up to the prophecies. Okay, that's what it means to watch. It says, "And keepeth his garments," which is his doctrine, this knowledge, this truth, this wisdom, "lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together," who? The Heavenly Father. "And he gathered them together," just like he said in Joel chapter 2, okay? "And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon," okay? Armageddon here, but it's Armageddon, okay? So that is going to be in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, all right? This is the main topic we're hitting up because this is what's happening right now, okay? Don't forget, why is this war happening? Because the international banking families need to bring down the current world order so they can set up their mark of the beast, okay? They need that. Let's go to Joel 2. Let's go to is it the 3rd chapter? No, this is it. Joel 2 and verse 20 says, "But I will remove far from you the northern army. I will drive him into a land barren and desolate." That's Saudi Arabia, a land barren and desolate. Saudi Arabia needs to import basically all of its resources except for its oil. Okay, they don't have water and natural food because they can't grow anything there because it's a desert. Okay, but they do have oil. That's one thing they do have. Which, by the way, a refinery was struck. It says, "But I will remove far from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, and his face toward the east sea." It says, "And his hinder part toward the uttermost sea." Okay, that's the Mediterranean. Okay, so his back is gonna be at the Mediterranean. His front is going to be toward the Indian Ocean. Okay? It says the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord Yahweh will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree beareth her fruit, and fig tree and the vine do yield her strength. So the Lord is bringing these prophecies to come to pass. Okay? The Lord is gathering these armies together. He's going to put them in Saudi Arabia, which is the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Okay? Let's go to the next chapter. Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Why is this happening? The Lord told you, Joel 3. It says, I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, which is Saudi Arabia, that same barren and desolate land, with their back toward the uttermost sea. Okay, Saudi Arabia. Why is he bringing them there? For my people and for my heritage, for the Israelites, for what these people have done, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So if anybody wants to ask why is this happening, that's why. Let's go to Isaiah 65. This is Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 12. It says, Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer, and when I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein delighted not. So this is a judgment. Okay, that's why Yahweh-Shaphat means valley of the Lord's judgment or decision. Okay, because you wicked ass niggas, okay, especially you Israelites that are in Esau's military, okay, you're gonna be destroyed. All right. Let's go to Isaiah 63. Talk about the Lord's return. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. This is the Lord coming back. All right? In the middle of World War III is when the Lord comes back. Actually, we can get that in Matthew. Okay, because of course Matthew 24 is actually the main chapter, okay, that we always go to. Matthew 24 in verse 6. It says, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See, this is not the end yet. The nukes are not going to fly yet. There's still more prophecy to come. You got to have the collapse of the United States of America. The economy has to collapse. The MOTB has to come out. Okay, but this is one of the main prophecies being fulfilled, that war starting up in the Middle East. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. It's the beginning of tribulation, which is where we're at right now. Let's get back to this video.
That Venezuela did, that's not going to happen here. Okay? I regret to inform you, it doesn't look like that might have been their plan, but something they miscalculated. Why are they sending in all these additional tankers, potentially pulling in THAAD launchers, the most sophisticated system, pulling those away from the China-North Korea theater? They're taking them from some...
Yeah, because they're getting whooped. Okay, they're getting whooped right now, and they're on their back foot. They're fighting off the back foot. They're on the ropes, and they need to do something quickly. Let's go over here to this other video that I had lined up. Okay, what you're about to see here, these U.S. troops, you fucking dummies, okay? Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that have enlisted in this military. These troops in this video, they're all about to get deployed to the Middle East. You're all going to die. These individuals will not come home. They will not come home. They are going to die over there, okay? tribe. Looks like Issachar, but let's go back and see what he did. Read the caption. It says, the moment of uncertainty. God bless our soldiers. And listen, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is about to smoke your son. He is not coming back. And look at him. He did the Hail Mary on his son's chest. That's the idolatry that is exactly why your son is going to be destroyed over there in the Middle East. And you're going to be destroyed over here in America because you're an idolater, Issachar. You're worshiping Jesus Christ, okay, a false god, all right?
It's never enough. It's never enough.
Look at that. His daughter, man. Sorry to say, but your daddy ain't coming back. Okay? They got the sad music on it, but listen, we're not sad. We're excited. We're rejoicing that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is getting rid of you fucking niggas, man. Okay? Getting rid of you 2/3. All you scoffers, you mockers. This nigga probably was scoffing at the prophets. The same for this nigga over here. He's the same nigga. Look at him. Shaved face, lined up, looking effeminate as fuck. Probably got chapstick on. Okay? Now, you know the United States military is known for that faggot shit. Okay? The United States military is known for having a bunch of moes and a bunch of sissy boys. All right? You think you're gonna go over there and fight against a radicalized Shia Muslim jihad? Motherfucker, they're gonna fuck you up, man. Okay? You're gonna go over there and start hearing missiles drop. Okay? You're gonna shit your pants because guess what? Those Muslims over there, they wanna die. That's the thing about Muslims. They're fucking crazy, dog. They wanna die. So they're not going to stop. You are going to a unknown territory, a near peer military capable adversary. You're going to a place, and you're not in the right. The United States is in the wrong. The United States is the aggressor. They are the invading force. Man, you are about to get smoked. Look at them. Soft, weak. See, the truth, this is why you got to be thankful for this truth. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Rakta Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai for this truth. And please, Lord, whatever you do in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, do not take this truth, this spirit away from me. Because listen, death, we're in a time of death. People are going to start dying in mass. Okay? But it is the best time to be alive because we get to watch this movie, okay? We know this script. We know how this ends, okay? And nobody else does. Look at all these people sad. Look how Trump got us fucking kissing your daughter goodbye, getting ready to go get blown up by a Fatah 2 missile, hypersonic. Listen, hey, the Lord said your carcasses are going to be strewn across the Middle East. All right?
It's never enough. It's never enough. All that we had. One who tried. Never enough. Skin seems so tough. Now how did it feel? Dark red for all eyes.
Shalom.
So that was that video you just saw. I just wanted to show you these troops getting deployed. They're starting to call them up. All right, if you're in the military, you're done for. We warned you. It's over with. If you go over there, you're not coming back. If you go over there, you're not coming back. But this is the war to end all wars. And that's thus saith the Lord. This is Micah 4:3. It says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares meaning all those missiles are going to be turned into useful agricultural technology, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. That's after the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, after Armageddon. Okay, this is that final battle. This is the final battle. And what did Pete Hegseth, I believe that's his name, the Secretary of War for the United States, what did he say? Let's go. I saw this video. One more video, and then we'll close out, because I saw this. It was pretty interesting. Right here. Let's go.
If you only list your vacation home on Airbnb, you might get someone looking for a little studio. But if you list it on Vrbo, you'll attract families looking for a bit more, and who spend over twice as much.
In a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military, finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders, flying over Tehran, flying over Iran, flying over their capital, flying over the IRGC, Iranian leaders looking up and seeing only U.S. and Israeli air power.
Yeah, that's bullshit. He's bullshitting. See, this is the fog of war. He's talking shit because this is what you do in war. You got to make it seem like you're big and bad. You want the enemy to be scared. You want your home people at home. You want them to feel good about what's going on when you're really getting smoked. All right, so it's time, y'all. It's time to get out of here. All right, I'll just close it out there because the point has been made. World War III has started. We're about to see the collapse of this society. The MOTB is around the corner, and Yahweh Shai is on his way back. So I give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.